everybody. My name is Nyemade, and welcome to another episode of Love Handles All. It is our series here at AllGo, where we talk to people of all body sizes and all different types and let everybody know that love handles all and everybody deserves love. And I'm so excited. To me, I have Tamra and Jeremy with me today. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you both so much for joining. Well, to start, tell me a little bit about each of you.
You want to start?
Sure. I'm 38. I'm originally from LA. I live currently in Las Vegas. I am a certified life coach, which is with a specialty in mindset, self-love, and confidence. I specialize in the fat community, the plus size community, because I feel like we are so underserved in so many different ways, and especially when it comes to our own self-development and worth. What else? We are serial entrepreneurs. So we have a creative marketing company called Dozeland. We have a dog and a cat.
Nice. Anything to add, Jeremy?
No, I mean, I'm her husband.
Very nice. Great coupling. All right. So let's start at the beginning. How did you two meet?
Yeah. So we met on, there weren't like dating apps. I think Tinder had just kind of started taking flight, but we met on BBW Cupid. And it was funny because we were talking about it the other day and we were both on the same sites and we saw each other on both sites. I don't remember the other one.
It was Tango Wire, I think.
Oh, yeah. So we saw each other on both sites, but he actually reached out to me on BBW Cupid.
Yep. And we started talking and then we kind of stopped talking because
he ghosted me.
Ooh,
Not really. She was living in Pasadena. I was living on the west side of LA. And it was like a road trip to go see her.
Oh, so 45 minutes. It's a 45-minute drive. So he ghosted me for 45 minutes.
I guess for some people that is a very, very long drive if they need to see the person more often.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, sure. I get that.
So we'll give him that. Jeremy, what was it about her profile that made you reach out to her?
Her profile picture was her singing into a microphone. She was at a recording studio, I think, because she was a professional singer at the time. And I love music and I love singing. So that was an instant connection point.
Awesome.
I mean, let's be honest, there was a lot of cleavage also happening in that photo.
Oh, that too.
That too. What made you want to respond back to him?
My dating philosophy is quantity over quality. I figure if I can hit as many people as I can, then I can be like, okay, no, not you, no, not you. So if the person's profile, like they look like they were a normal person and they didn't come at me with the fetish things like how big is your belly? Like how big are your thighs? Like, like the weird fetish questions that I'm sure I'm one of many fat women who get those. Then I was like, okay, I would have a conversation with you and just kind of see if there's commonality or if there's like any sort of spark or chemistry.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys had the chemistry, then you ghosted. Then how did you reconnect?
So I actually reached out to him. I was going through my phone. Like I said, I'm a quantity over quality dater. So embarrassing. So I was going through my phone and I had like a string of bad dates. So I was just going through deleting people and I was like, oh, no. And I came across our text conversation and I was like, huh. And I was like, well, who is this? So I scrolled up a little bit and I scrolled to the top and he sent me a picture and I was like, oh, that's right. He's cute. He's short, but he's cute. And I was reading through our conversation. I was like, oh, like we joke and like we have a good, back and forth, and he's not asking me inappropriate questions or sending me dick pics. So I texted him. I was like, hey, have you found the girl of your dreams yet? And then you texted back.
Right. What did I say? No, because I haven't met you.
Yeah.
I love cheesy lines.
Right? And I was like, oh, cute. And then he was like, have you met the man of your dreams yet? And I was like, no, I haven't met you. And then he was like, okay, tell me your schedule this week. We have to go on a date. And I was like, okay.
And then you went
We
out.
met up on like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So what was it about each other that made you know they were the one, like that you were ready to say those vows and lock it down?
Yeah. For me, I had just gotten out of like a 4-year-long relationship. So any sort of commitment was the last thing from my mind. But we just kept going on dates and we were so excited to plan dates together. And I was like, oh, I want you to come see this band. And he's like, oh, I want you to come see this band and this event. And we just like couldn't stop hanging around each other. And I just really knew early on, like there's something about him that just my soul just kept pulling me toward him. And I was like, man, this is so strange. It's so early and I'm not like there. But I said to him on our 3rd date, I was like, hey, so when are you going to lock this down? And I was like, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth.
You surprised yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Like, I'm a little more suave than that. Well, I'd like to think I am.
Yeah. What did you think when she said that?
Oh, I was cooking, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, pause on that. That's a larger conversation. Because I was still, I had an active dating life at the time. I was going through my hoe phase.
Oh,
And
okay. You were being a city boy.
Yeah.
Yes. LA was kind to me in that realm. And so I was, but something I felt the same way. I was drawn to her, and I didn't want to spend time with anyone else. Found myself just wanting to spend time with her all the time. So that's kind of how it went.
I love that. So let's talk about a little bit about your dating history prior to meeting each other. What was that like for you?
I guess I should go first on this one.
Sure. Go ahead.
City boy, take it away with your dating adventures.
Well, so when I met her, as I told her on our 2nd date, I had been married 3 times at that point. So I was a mess pretty much, I guess.
But you still love, apparently.
Yes, very much so. But yeah, I did a lot of work on myself after being on my own in LA after going through a divorce. I really had to pick myself up and figure myself out. And when I did that, that's when I started dating again. And it was probably a year after that I met Tamra. And so yeah, I had a lengthy relationship history with a lot going on. At the time that I met her, I was dating a lot, which was good for me because it's what I needed. I needed that little hoe phase to go through it. I went through it a little later in life than I think I probably should have, instead of getting married every time. But yeah.
You got it out of your system eventually, though. That's good.
Yeah.
What about you?
My dating history. So I'm pansexual. And so I've dated women and men. Before him, my longest relationship was with a woman for 4 years. So I dated a lot of people. In college, I used to tell my friends that I pride myself on being the person that can juggle 5 people at the same time, because I can remember facts about everybody and I don't like confuse anyone, which really helped me in my career of customer service, but not so much in dating.
Yeah.
But I never really had healthy or stable relationships. The dating was really sporadic, maybe like a month here, a couple months here, a few dates there. And so I always felt kind of just all over the place, which is why my quantity versus quality kind of worked for me, because I was like, okay, well, clearly these are not great relationships for me because they're not lasting. So what if I just try to do more? But yeah, I don't know. It was really, I mean, I had several of my own hoe phases.
You got them out of your system too. That's good. When you were dating, when you were younger, and even into adulthood, did your size ever impact your dating? Like what you felt like the types of dates you could go on, your relationships with people? Do you feel like it played a role?
Absolutely. I'm definitely so like AOL Instant Messenger was really popular when I was about like 18 to like 20 something. So meeting people on there, and then, people asking you to overly describe yourself, and as a fat person, I feel like we see so many images like constantly of how like our body is not the typical body that anybody wants. So it was like a lot of hiding, lying, and secrecy, and not just like showing up as my full self. And then when dating profiles came, where you would show pictures, lots of like pictures from here to the boobs, I was totally cool with.
Yeah.
But full body shots, like I had the hardest time posting those. When people would ask me, if I wanted to meet in person, I wouldn't. Because I felt so like traumatized by the idea of like being fat and dating. And even still, sometimes when I would show up for dates, I would, get oh, you are way bigger than you are in pictures, or, oh, is like, oh, you kind of like, I didn't know you had that big of a stomach, and like, just like stuff like that. So it would really, like demean me. I remember this one time in college, my best friend in college, God bless her, she was a 00. So like smaller than a size 0.
My best friend was like that too, like ridiculously tiny. I don't know how we all end up paired up that way, but
right.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of rude if you ask me. But God love her. She's a wonderful, wonderful, amazing human, amazing mom, and all the things. But so I met up with this guy that I had been crushing on for the longest time over Messenger. We had been messaging for like a month, and I was like, oh, he's my dream. We finally meet in person. I bring my best friend with me because, safety, and we're 21 or 20 at this point. So we meet up at a club, and the guy sees me, and then he kind of is just like, like lukewarm about me, who used to like message me all day long. Right. And so I was just kind of like, oh, here we go again. My best friend gets up to walk to the bathroom, and all he does is just, and then he looks at me and he goes, yeah, you should learn how to walk and dress like her. And I was like, is it my clothes? Because we're dressed pretty much the same.
Right.
She's in jeans and a top. I'm in jeans and a top. Like, is it the clothes? And then after that, like he kind of like ghosted me, like I would message him and he's like, oh no, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. What was your best friend's name again? Do you have her email? No.
That's the worst. Like, it's bad enough to ghost you, but then to like go after the friend. And guys just don't think about it when they do stuff like that. And it's so it's hurtful. And especially I would have to assume, because I know firsthand as well, is like when you build that relationship and you're like, oh, this person really likes me for me. Like we have clicked, we're solid. And then that, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess none of that really matters at the end of the day. They just want a hottie.
Yeah.
Which we are hot. They just don't realize it.
Right. Yes, that part. Yes. It's that was always like my fear in dating, which I think attributed to my quantity over quality rule.
Yeah.
That makes sense for people.
That makes sense. Jeremy, did you always have a type, or have you dated a variety?
All different kinds of women. Yeah. Just from all over different ethnicity, size, whatever. Yeah, I just yeah.
Did you ever feel judged dating someone who was like curvier or bigger?
Judged probably when I was younger, but that would have been like when I was a teenager, maybe. Where I would have felt that from other people. But I even then I didn't care about it because, like I said, beauty is everywhere. So, and to me, women are beautiful in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say more generally people, but, I tend to like to look at women. So.
We hear you. No, I think that's great. And thank you for sharing that with me. Both of you, I know that it's not easy tapping into those memories that many of us would like to keep way in the back of our mind, but it does, I think, help as well for other people to hear and know that there's the other side of it. Speaking of the other side of it, not to start any trauma, but I have a question for you both. which is, I need for each of you to tell me what you think the other person's pet peeve of you is. So Jeremy, what do you think Tamara's pet peeve of you is? And Tamara, what do you think Jeremy's is of you?
Do you have yours?
What is your pet peeve of mine?
I think
Okay.
what annoys him about me is, because I know this for a fact. When I say it, you're gonna be like, yep. Is he says that I critique or everything that he does. Like the way he puts the glasses in the cabinet, how he loads the dishwasher, slices the vegetables. I have an opinion about everything.
Yes. And sometimes you should keep them to yourself.
Well, we'll see.
This sounds like a conversation with me and my mother, so I understand that one well.
I know what yours would be. It's that I don't remember anything.
Oh, nothing. Whole conversation. We'll have a conversation about business where we're like, this is our next plan. We're going to do this, 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 and this. Like 2-hour conversations with notes, everything. And next day, I'm like, oh, are you gonna da-da-da-da? Why? What is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Just completely forgot.
And it's like, I'm an over-explainer. So I'm like, I spent my throat, like exhausted. I've been talking and explaining this thing and trying to figure it out. And then I go, hey, what about X? And he's like, huh?
No, I can understand how that would be frustrating as well. But to get back on each other's good side, can you each tell me your top 3 favorite thing you like about each other?
You want me to go first?
Okay, 3 things. One is that I'm very introverted, so one of the things I love about her is she opens up the world for me in new ways because she's so open and welcoming. And I love that, even though it seems like I don't with my resting bitch face. 2 is that I love to hear her respond to things because she always responds to any situation in a way that makes me proud. And so I'm always listening to her talk going, oh, yeah, that's my wife.
Oh,
I like that.
keep it going.
One more.
3rd thing, I'm not going to say the boobs. I would normally, but 3rd thing is that
No, you can think about his boobs.
You push me to be better.
Oh,
yeah, you
good
do.
one
You
too.
inspire me to be better.
Oh, that's sweet.
I love it. All right, your turn.
My husband has like an enormous heart, and not just in the way like, oh, he's so loving and caring. He is, but he really believes in human rights, social justice, people being treated fairly, and people being treated well, just not fairly, just people being treated well. When I met him, he was going to rallies and marches and Black Lives Matter protest, and that was such an important thing for him. And now that I'm in fat activism, he's right with me, and he's like, yes, that doesn't make sense. And he like can now point out things if we're watching TV or news or anything like that. And he's like, why would they say that? He goes, oh, we got so much work to do. And like, he's all about like just making sure that everyone is treated fairly and that we all have like equal rights and everyone just deserves to like, exist. Yeah. And I just love that about him because it's rare for someone just looks outside of themselves. But because like, he's a white man, so like he doesn't
have to, but he does the extra work too. So
yeah. Like I never like when the woke culture like came about, it was never like I never had to teach him anything. He would seek it out himself. Black issues, racial issues, like he does all of that work himself. I never have to ask. I never have to, like, he's sometimes more informed than I am, who'll be like, did you hear about da da da? And I'm like, wait, what? So I love that about him. Is that one, two?
That's still one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a lot.
It was a good one.
Right. It's an important one. Two, he's again, like, takes care of me and our family, our little fur baby family, our household before anything else. He will drop anything to make sure that we're okay. He will work a job he hates to make sure that he can provide for us. He will do anything in his power. Our comfort and me being taken care of is his first priority. So I just love that. And three, he's, oh my gosh, now I'm never gonna live this down. He's funny.
He's like, aha.
I don't always get it, and it's not always my brand of humor, but he's really funny. Like, he always tries to make me laugh, and has like the corniest, like, they're not even dad jokes, Scarlett. He's like the Office kind of jokes, and I just don't get it. Like, it's just so like beyond my brain.
Yeah, very Michael. That's funny though. I like it. Oh, I love your top threes. Those are both great. Before I let you go, the last question I like to ask is just, I do these because I think it's important for people to see that everybody gets love. I know, especially when I was younger, I would have liked to see more of this. So what would you tell your teenage self if they were watching this now?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm.
Can I go?
Yes.
I would tell my teenage self to, pump your brakes and focus on you a little bit more. Like, love yourself a little bit more. You don't have to take what you can get because you're fat. You can, and you deserve everything that you want. You deserve to be loved the way that you want to be loved. You deserve to be treated the way you deserve, like you want to be treated. There's nothing different about you that is deserving of less.
Absolutely.
I would tell every teenager self something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spend more time loving yourself first, because I didn't get anywhere with loving other people until I love myself first.
Yeah, 3 divorces.
Listen to him, he knows. No, that was great. It was such a pleasure meeting both of you. Thank you both for coming and sharing your love story. I'm sure those who are watching at home will be happy to learn all about you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.